radio doesn't have to play second. They're choosing, and it's a fear of gamble. Money don't want to gamble. Money is trying to hold on versus like, man, maybe I could turn this 5 billion into 10 billion. So they're just trying to take the easy route, and it's slowly wiping them out. But I agree with Damizza. Like, I'm like, gamble. Actually break a record. When's the last time you could hang your hat on breaking a record? When's the last time? Like, that used to, that's what made you guys so big. That's why I knew who you were. You were breaking moments and records. And now if you won't, then you just slowly disappear.
And the reason why is because with the deterioration of them putting the emphasis on radio, we've lost the promotion model. So there's no way to make anything stand out in a streaming world. It's just there. The algorithm is not a DJ. You can't relate to an algorithm. Yeah, it pushes you stuff, but it's not saying, hey, Glasses, here's a new one from Mac 10.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And radio don't break records no more.
Or here's an underground. Yeah.
They don't break records.
And there's no way to break records anymore.
Big Boys Hangout. I've been waiting on this one right here, bro. This Hangout right here, I've been trying to put this one together. But I'm going to tell you, I've been putting this Hangout together in my head mentally for a minute. Where I was like, dude, if I'm going to sit down and I'm going to talk about all things hip-hop, radio, record business, life, like, I got to sit down with Fuzzy Fantabulous.
No, man.
I got to sit down with Glasses Loke. I got to sit down with Damizza. And we all came together, and we sitting down now for the Hangout, bro.
Yes,
First off, welcome.
No, thank you for having us.
Fuzz, if you can give him a backstory, bro, on who is Fuzzy Fantabulous and what Fuzzy does in this, not just in life, in this business, brother.
Crazy that you asked, Big. I started off with a good friend of mine named Big Boy.
Yes, sir.
We toured with a group called The Far Side. I'm always going to start with The Far Side because
man.
That's when Big saw me when I turned 21. Big was the first person to take me to an underground hip-hop club for the first time. I didn't know what the hell a guest list was.
You can start with some of them first right there, too.
Yeah.
Because I know which first you're going to get into, too.
I'm green.
Right.
So anyway.
No, can you tell them the other first?
There's so many first. Which part? The
hand.
Oh, yeah. Ha! This guy, first time I ever held a handgun was inside of a hip-hop club.
Right.
And Glasses. We had some spot in Hollywood. Big gets up. Hands me a 380, puts a 380, Walter 380 in my lap, and walks away. I'm like,
he got a Bible in one hand,
what the hell's going
and
on?
a 380 in the other.
So anyway, that's our relationship. Me and Big Boy rolled back from The Far Side. We always got to throw back to The Far Side. Fast forward, started doing street promotions because Paul Stewart had introduced me to that game while I was doing sound for The Far Side. Big was, doing security, your bodyguard for the Far Side. So I started doing street promotions, then started doing some record label stuff. Then we ended up doing radio because we were always hanging up at Power 106 where Damizza was at. And they offered Big a job.
But Damizza, we were at Power before you, right?
Yeah,
we was at Power before, yeah.
They offered Big a job to do, overnights, and he started doing nights. So I lost my job at Warner Brothers Records. Got laid off the whole black music department, whatever. And they're like, you should just try to do radio. I'm like, all right.
You're like, fuck it, might as well.
Yeah, I'm already up here. So even fast forward, that's how I ended up getting the radio. Big Boy and I just had great relationships with the Baker Boys, Rick Cummings, Bruce St. James. Like, it was just a family up there. And we did, I did over 20 years at Boy
man. And what you doing now?
Now I'm working with Snoop at Death Row Records on the artist relations side, promotions, A&R. A little bit of Swiss Army knife over there, so.
Yeah. Just add water.
Just add water, as Big Boy says. Always just add water.
Glasses, come on, man.
Yep.
Man, y'all just captured my childhood. I didn't know you started off as a bodyguard.
Yeah, I started as a bodyguard with the Far Side. Yep, I was a bodyguard. Fuzzy was the sound man.
So in '94, when they was doing this, I was selling rocks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. In '94, when I was doing it, I was selling rocks.
Yeah, I was selling rocks in high school. And
I never sold no
A's,
rocks.
You know what I mean? And things was going good. I had a 380. Let me just make the comment now. I had a 380 at that time in high school. Everybody had. That's what everybody started, 22 or 380. And then hip-hop saved my life, and here we are.
Yeah,
you know
man.
I mean? Changed my life and
got
me together.
And I got to say with you, Glasses, man, you are about one of the hardest working not in your face tugging on a motherfucking individual.
Oh,
You know
no.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
You never come at people like, you owe me something. Oh, it's the West Coast. You never put a lien on nobody. You know what I mean?
Nah, I think I could do it most
Very
of it.
respectful.
And
My
the most
problem is I think I
knowledgeable.
could do I could do too much by myself. That's probably a problem. So, but I'm grateful, man. I love. Not only did hip hop save my life before I loved it, it gave me time to fall in love with it. And now that it is challenging, it's still good for me because I'm figuring out new ways to love it and create and inspire people and make people talk and have these great conversations. You know what I mean? So I really love everything that hip hop has done for me, and that's kind of why I'm here. Hey,
Who, me?
Yes, sir.
Wow. Started in radio when I was about 12 years old in Santa Barbara. Did alternative for a while, but my love was always hip hop. Came to power February 3rd, 1997. Wow. Believe that. As the music director. And I started off as a board op. Working on the weekends for Curtis Blow and then Ice-T, and then just worked my way up the ladder and became music director in 97, and then we all started working together, and then when you made the move to mornings is when it really started kicking off.
We built a lot of great shit together, bro.
And we all,
we built a lot of great shit together, bro. You know what I'm saying? I mean, to the point of what LA felt like, what radio felt
100%.
like. You know, I still get people that come up to me, and I'm talking about as recent as a few, less than a week, where people still come up and say, "Man, I was in Hawaii with you guys."
Oh, wow.
Or I just saw somebody that got married from when we took our listeners to Hawaii, and that's when radio, you know, you could put 600 motherfuckers on a plane, take them to Hawaii to see Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg because venues in LA. Well, how did that come together, bro? When you put together Snoop and Dre?
Well, the Baker Boys came up with a great idea that we could not
Puff,
do.
that Paradise was Puffy and Paradise.
But we had to, it all stemmed from the Dre and Snoop reunion.
Yeah.
Because when we wanted to put Fuzz had a show called Curb Service.
Yes, sir.
And he brought Snoop around. And then Snoop, when he co-signed you on the morning show, that first kick, when he said the beat can eat a bowl of salty nuts, put us on a whole new trajectory.
remember this stuff.
And I was like,
this is dope.
Yeah.
What?
And that stamp made
Matters.
us. You know what I mean?
Because
So I'm like,
we didn't listen to Power before y'all.
Right.
yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And the crazy shit about it, bro, is I didn't listen. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't a radio guy, but I knew the Baker Boys when they started doing Friday Night Flavors, and then when the Baker Boys got me listening to radio
100%.
because if it was radio, you know, I was original 1580 K-Day. You know what I'm saying? And then KJLH, K8s was some of the things that you listened to, but my main was 1580 K-Day, and it was Russ Parr Morning Show. You know what I'm saying? When and that was AM. But after that, when they signed off, I kind of signed off until this other thing came in with Friday Night Flavors and the Baker Boys and what LA started to feel like. And then, you know, not only that, we started having, you know, we had our own. You know what I'm saying? We had our own motherfuckers that we had to get with.
This is your show. I just got to ask one question because I got y'all together. So this is like my childhood. It's like my high school years.
That's crazy.
It's dope. Fire. What made you realize that he was going to be okay in the morning? That's crazy.
You know, the big thing, I'll never forget Rick Cummings walking up to me and saying, a black morning show on a Latino station. Are you sure that will go? And I said, bro, the motherfucker's just funny as fuck. Like, fuck all that. It was the same question with Son Doobie. Remember we did Son Doobie at night? It was like, yo, are you sure that this is, you know, da-da-da-da? And it was like, bro, there's no question. I mean, just every time you're around Big Boy, you laugh. And he can be molded into that guy. It's just morning radio.
I'm
Hell
gonna keep
of
it
a
100.
call.
It felt like, I know Big and I, we never operated as a black. We are black. We are a black morning show, yes, but Big is so connected in LA culture and LA streets that it was so welcoming. Like, I learned so much about being at Power 106, about even going to East LA or whatever the case may be, our P1 markets. But it was I never felt it was like a us against them.
Right.
That was the
Big,
point.
Big would never, first of all, would never tolerate that kind of behavior.
Yeah,
Like,
and the thing about it, man, I remember when they wanted us to call it Power Uno Cero Seis, right? And I was like, I'm not saying that. And the reason why I said I wasn't saying that was for the simple fact of that sounds like I'm trying too hard.
forcing it.
People fuck with me because they fuck with me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not. That's just like you can have a white homeboy, right?
Yeah.
And he could be as soon as he starts saying, "Oh, you know, yeah, my N word," or that, I'm like, "Oh man, I fucked with you because of who you were." Yeah. Now you pandering. Now you trying to. So my thing was, man, when I first started doing radio, I remember I told Fuzz, I was like, Fuzz, I said they want me to try this radio shit. You know what I'm saying? And I was
that's
like,
why you got hired, though. That's why you got hired,
yeah,
though.
and that's what Rick told me.
The...
Rick told me, he said, I can teach you radio, I can't teach you personality. Yeah. And Glasses, the way I got to tell you this is, like, when I first started in radio, I had a hip-hop line called What Up? And What Up was just the line that you would call, and it would tell you, like, what was going on Monday night, Tuesday night, and it was just my way to kind of get in the club for free. I never had a job in my life. You know what I'm saying? So people that know me, like the guns under the stomach story and all that shit, like, I never had a job. I always hustled. So at the time, even when I was bodyguarding the Far Side, I made more money at the house than being on the road. I just love to travel, and I love this thing called hip-hop, and I never had a passport. I never was on a tour bus. So these were experiences for me. And so literally when I got that call, when the Baker Boys, you know, their boss, Rick Cummings, was listening, and he would call my hip-hop line. He said, I want to meet that guy. And so when I came, I didn't even know I was auditioning or meeting the guy that was going to change my life. You know what I'm saying? I just went, and the crazy shit about it, I told Fuzz, I said, man, when they called me, they said, would you do 4 hours overnight of radio? I said, you know what, man, I'll try. They said, we'll give you $35 an hour. In my mind, I'm just doing the math. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm off from Lollapalooza because that's the tour we were on. Yep. And then he called me back the next day, and said, would you like to try it again? And I was like, yeah, I said, I'll try it. So now I'm thinking my radio career is 2 days. They offered me the night show. He told me, he said, man, I could teach you to be a radio guy. He said, I can't teach you personality. You got personality. So I remember I was going to turn that shit down, Glasses, because I wanted to be on the road. Remember we was about to do Wu-Tang and all this shit. We on Lollapalooza.
Like,
I'm
finna
fuck
miss
this
all
radio
this
shit. But
wow.
I said, you know what? I got to a point where I was like, I told Fuzz, I said, man, I only eat when they eat. You know what I'm saying? I'm only moving when the Far Side's moving. So I remember I said, man, I'm going to go try this radio shit. And the fellows was like, yeah, man, you know, go ahead and do it. If it doesn't work, you know, you can come back. Man, I hit that motherfucker. I was like, it was the easiest hustle as far as bringing something that you know to something else. Man, it was the easiest hustle for me.
We wasn't trying to get our wiggle in. It just organically happened,
and I didn't know.
Well, and
I didn't know how radio went. You know what I'm saying? So it was like my man said, just go on in there. Rick Cummings said, go in there. Remember the station is called Power 106. Be who you want to be. So I didn't have these things where you listen to radio and you're like, I wasn't in there nervous and all that shit. I just, all right, well, fuck it. You know, let me show
Just
up.
having fun on
Well,
air.
and that was the point, is when we started in radio, hip-hop was not the #1 format in the world.
Right.
It was a petri dish. It was a test case.
Yeah.
So when
Very
you
special.
did like Curb Serving, and we would get a record like Midnight Love, and then we break that record, there's no better core marketing on the planet than having the biggest artist in the format on the radio telling your competition to eat a bowl of salty nuts, and then having exclusive content to do it. So I'm sitting there thinking like, oh my God, like how can we get Dre and Snoop in the room together? So I tricked them.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, just tricked them.
And that was Dr. Dre and Snoop.
Then we was in Hawaii. But they would not let us do it in LA. I remember when we very first wanted to do it, they said, look, no venue will ensure that. I mean, it was the death row era.
Yes.
It was,
crazy
you know.
part that people don't know this type of stuff.
Yeah, so they
That's
said
why
they
Up
wouldn't
and
do
Smoke
it.
was in Anaheim.
And then they ultimately said no to Dre and Snoop. They just said Michelle and Rick and everybody was just like, no, we're not. It's too much of a risk. So I said, well, what if we can prove it with something else first? And I went back to Puffy and I said, you're going to put an album out. And they were like, look, Biggie just got shot. Like, no, why do you keep doing this? Like, it's not going to happen.
Puffy in Paradise after Big?
Yeah, it was right. Wow. It was right after. Because remember Big, and then we had that Flavor Jam.
Damn.
And that's where I met
remember
Snoop
Flavor Jam.
face to face for the first time, is when Biggie was on stage and Snoop came
that
out.
Palladium?
No, that
No,
was at the
Palace?
Palace in
Yeah,
Hollywood.
that was that night, man. I remember because I had
Big was
Biggie
there.
because Biggie was on crutches.
Yeah.
And I remember when we were leaving, somebody was like, "Big," they said, "You want a picture with Biggie?" And I was like, "Nah." I said, "Man, he's coming to the station. I'll get it then."
Yeah.
And he never made it.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And of course, you got pictures, but I remember that one moment. I was like, "Nah." I said, "Man, I'll see him at the station."
Yeah.
You know. But the reason why I did a backstory for us that's hanging out is because what we have in this thing called hip hop, in music, in life, in radio, in technology, in content. There's a lot of information and a lot of people that put, their 10,000 hours in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But we've seen the climate of everything is changed or is changing.
Yeah.
Even when I was talking to you, Glasses, I was like, Glass, you're not on a label now, right? Because now it's like, man, remember back in the days, everybody wanted to be on a label.
Yeah.
It had to be, man, I need to be with Def Jam. I need to be with such and such, such and such. Now it's almost to the point where you're like, man, fuck that label.
It's a bad loan, bro.
Really, so
Straight up.
that's what I want to, if we hanging out, what is the label situation now? What do you think about labels?
Now, a record label is playing catch up to whatever's hot. They're not investing into artist development. I'm talking about major labels. Like
Right,
Death
yeah,
Row
yeah.
is still an independent label,
Yes,
right?
sir.
But I'm talking about the major labels would do artist development. They would A&R a project. But now artists are getting hot on their own. Now the labels are checking analytics or
They're piggybacking
research
off
They're
of momentum.
and so now they're going they just seeing what's out there. Oh, let's make an offer. Let's make an offer.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, okay, but your instinct, gut instinct, where's that at now?
Right. Or even when you used to see people take a chance and
Yeah.
build up an artist. What do you feel like the labels as far as independent versus, the majors?
I went out and visited Strange Music recently. And as an independent, there's no label I've ever seen run like that. It's a it's a micro major. And that's the future. You know what I mean? Is people that are actually embedded in the culture that understand more than the momentum, that can develop an artist, that are close enough to the street to create the momentum. That's the future of it. And these labels are just so disjointed. I mean, there's no middle class and there's no street folks in the labels anymore. So that the labels, that's what, having a Fuzzy and Warner is what told you what was coming down the pike. This record, walking by his office, I'll never forget, I used to say that the Flavor Unit was the best acid test for what was going to be a hit.
in the streets.
Because they were 2 doors down from me in the office.
Right.
And if I put a record
And
on...
that was like the promo team for those that don't know. That's
Yeah.
like the promo, the street team for Power.
And if I put a record on in my office and one of them came in and said, "What's that?" then I knew we had something.
Glasses, why do you feel? Because we were just out there talking right now, and you were like, man, the major wouldn't let me do what I'm the way I'm doing things.
Tupac must die and all of that crazy stuff. No chance.
Hey man, when you hit me with Tupac must die, you know how they say, man, you can't judge a book by its cover. I
that's
judge the
one
book
right
by
there,
its
huh?
cover. I was like, man, what the fuck is this?
Man,
But
Dre
then when
called me. Dr. Dre said the same. Everybody said the same thing. They kind of looked at it funny, but to your point, it's like you need to get really. In a time where so much content, so much music, you have to do something that's special. Hip hop was the belle of the ball for a long time. This was the first time they was learning about us. They was learning how we grew up, how we spoke for years. Now they are so familiar with it. They like, oh man, we know what y'all on. To the
Right.
point to where they lie. So it takes me to go into these really deep places like morality and how we see things, and then it becomes this niche idea. And I remember sending that to Birdman, sending that to Mac 10, people who I was signed to, and them just freaking out. Like, oh my God, man, you cannot put this out. And I'm like, oh, this is exactly why I should put this out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is kind of what hip hop was. Like, I could imagine the first time somebody heard Murder Was the Case, or somebody heard some of these songs, Hit 'Em Up, or any really, fuck the police. I remember when Dre was cussing me out in the studio, like he was like, why would you make this song? And I'm like, you said fuck the police. Like, what's happening?
Man.
You know what I mean? So it's really important to me now at a time that you have to gamble. You got to be willing to, especially as you age. Like, we're in a time of hip hop now where you could be a grown man and still be in hip hop all the way, making music and have an opportunity to galvanize the world. So you have to be able to gamble. And labels, corporate dollars don't really want you to gamble. Yeah. So that's the thing that kind of keeps me away. It's like, I need to be able to gamble. I need to be able to make the craziest ideas in the world, and nobody is tapping me on the shoulder like,
Just
oh,
betting on
you're
yourself,
going to lose
bro.
this, you're going to lose that.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's what made us special at Power.
Exactly.
Is we were playing Ain't No Fun and Kill You in Morning Drive.
Yeah, I remember dude Dre
Do you
came
know
in
what I
one
mean?
time
Like-
and we was playing Fuck You. And he was like, y'all played that on the radio? And like, yeah, we had to clean it up a little
radio,
bit.
yeah, song.
But yeah, we wanted to play what was in the car. And sometimes, man, the streets would dictate what you play. Of course, it's corporate America, and there's certain records, and you got to play this a certain amount of times. And
Y'all was playing that.
Yeah.
But see, that kind of shaped, outside of living a life, how I heard hip hop. And that's why it's so dope to be with y'all, because it shaped how I think music should be. Like, I could never make music that's safe. Like, I grew up in a time, I'm in high school or I'm running around and they're playing I Just Want to Fuck You on the radio.
Yeah.
And I'm hearing it every day and it's like jamming. And I'm like, man, this song is tight. Like, so that's what shaped my artistic mind as a creative. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what's wild about that, man, is that you would see people that, you know, when I was saying how we wanted to get in certain places now, and the climate's changed. You know what I'm saying? The climate's changed, man, where it's like, you know, we used to call independent radio, not independent radio, but independent artists, like, you would say, oh, man, they can't get a real deal. You know what I'm saying? They got their own shit. I'm talking about before the ones that really got in and probably did a little, you know, a deal together with somebody. It was like, oh, they can't get signed. The same way with radio. Yeah. You were like, oh, with a podcast, we used to call a podcast the graveyard. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, that's the graveyard. Oh, they can't get on such and such. Now, these people don't want to get all the way into radio. Some people trying to get out of radio. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's really changed quite a bit, man. And I always tell people, this is year 31 for me, going on 32, right? As far as on air.
Talk that shit.
And I tell people, man, I'm like, bro, if you don't change with the change, then they're going to change the guard and your ass going to be out this motherfucker.
Radio is still important.
Yeah, it's very much important.
And I want to say this to
say it's not?
Oh, no.
I get paid Thursday.
I'm just saying that for artists that don't think they're chasing the streaming game, which is important too, right? But you got to understand, once you have a hit record on radio, it changes everything like this.
Yeah. Well, and they don't know how important radio is because we live in a streaming world, but only 26% of Americans have data plans on their cell phones.
They forget about middle America and everything. Like,
well, if you go outside the metro, okay, there's places in Hollywood that I don't get a signal on my cell phone. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't realize that 96% of Americans still listen to the radio, don't even know it. Yeah. Go outside of the metro. I mean, the problem is corporate America runs in the metros. They never get outside of downtown. So they're spoiled. They have internet. They have all of this stuff. But if you go to a liquor store in Watts, they ain't listening to the
Spotify.
internet.
You're right.
Yeah. They're listening to the radio. Right. And people have just forgotten, because of the data and the analytics and that driving most of the revenue, they forget that if you really want to touch somebody, and that's why artist development, that's why we don't have superstars anymore, is they're not reaching the core market, which is urban areas and rural areas. Yeah, right. I mean, and when I was in Louisiana in the middle of freaking BFE, you know, if it was a cloud in the sky, we didn't get TV, more or less internet. Yeah. The only thing we had was radio.
Anybody know what BFE is?
You know what's funny? I just learned about it.
But fuck Egypt.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, well,
I don't want nobody to be out there like, man, BFE.
Yeah. Sorry. Is that a real place?
Like, yeah.
BFE, Louisiana?
Trying to figure that shit out. I mean, what changes have we seen in the record business?
Streaming, internet changed everything.
Is that a gift and a curse?
100%. If you would have told me, Fuzzy, in 92, 93, I had to go to Tyrex to buy CDs, any album I wanted could be at my disposal. Like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, sign me up for $10 a month. What up?
Yeah.
But now...
And you got a library.
I have everything on my phone. What? Mm-hmm. But now we don't live with music like that in our cars. We have it on our phone. But think about, you had the Juice soundtrack or NWA album in your car for weeks, months. Because whenever somebody got in your whip, you want to have the hot shit. Mm-hmm. I can't remember what came out last week, bro.
Yeah, man.
Unless I look at my library recently downloaded or something, like, you know what I mean? So it's the gift and curse, yes. Mm-hmm. We have access to everything at once, but people don't live with music and live with a body of work of an album, which is why you did what you did with dissecting the verse per track. I thought was clever. But we don't live with albums anymore.
Right.
Well, everybody's just single. It's single.
But with the deterioration of, it's a curse, if you ask me. And the reason why is because with the deterioration of them putting the emphasis on radio, we've lost the promotion model. Mm-hmm. So there's no way to make anything stand out in a streaming world.
Disposable.
It's just there.
More disposable.
The algorithm is not a DJ. You can't relate to an algorithm. Yeah, it pushes you stuff, but it's not saying, hey, Glasses, here's a new one from Mac 10.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And radio
Like,
don't break records no more.
or here's an underground. Yeah.
They don't
and there-
break records
And there's no way to break records anymore. You used to be able to go to a Flex, a Big Boy, a Fuzzy, a Special with Friday Night Flavors, any of those things, and that
Those moments don't
But
happen.
you know what? It's that instant gratification too. Remember when albums used to drop?
It was a big
And
deal.
remember you could hold a
Anticipation.
video and it'd be like new videos coming on MTV,
a big
BET
deal.
Friday.
Mm-hmm.
People like, man,
box.
fuck that now. Now everything got to be like
Instant.
I was telling people, I said, man, I remember when you would do a mail order and shit would take 6 to 8 weeks for your shit to come to your house.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you forgot that you even ordered the shit.
Yeah.
Now I look at Amazon and if it says 2 days, I'm like, man, what the fuck?
I won't even order it.
2 days.
And I'm mad I'm paying for Prime.
Prime. Right. This ain't no
I'm
Prime.
paying for Prime.
Yeah,
for sure.
3
but
days.
like it's not gonna be here the next day. But we get that. So I'm just wondering, man, are things still? How do you create something that's special when it comes to music, television, movies? We you know, people not even going to the theaters anymore as much. You know what I'm saying? And I remember, dude, when like Prince Purple Rain. When that came out, that motherfucker didn't come out on DVD or VHS
no, you had to go to the theater
until a
to see
year
it.
later.
Yeah, you had to
you
go
know
to the theater.
now shit will come out either in the theater or they'll do. I mean, straight to your streaming service or to go right to a theater and be there for a week.
Then
And
it's
the next
over.
thing you know, it's
It's
right there.
Yeah.
I agree with Damizza. Like the business cursed itself, and it's just such a long trip. But how do you? Radio doesn't have to play second. They're choosing, and it's a fear of gamble. Money don't want to gamble. Money is trying to hold on versus like, man, maybe I could turn this 5 billion into 10 billion. So they're just trying to take the easy route, and it's slowly wiping them out. But
Job security.
I agree with Damizza. Like I'm like gamble. Actually break a record. When's the last time you could hang your hat on breaking a record? When's the last time? Like that used to, that's what made you guys so big. That's why I knew you were. You were breaking moments and records. And now if you won't, then you just slowly disappear. You just slowly stop, you just won't matter.
And
So
we
I
were
don't know.
always so spur of the moment. That's what did it, is we were breaking news. You know what I mean? Like, how many times I walked in the studio and say, hey, guys, look at this.
Yeah.
You know, here's a new record from Dr. Dre. Play it now.
And it was moments too, though.
You know
too.
what I mean? Like,
There was definitely moments. Like I remember telling L.A. that Tupac died.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There were just these moments of cracking the mic. You know what I'm saying? And you still get those, but now you just see, at one point, man, the news came from us.
Yeah.
You know, we were literally on 9/11 Glasses. We were at the station at 5-something in the morning, right? Prepping for the live show on September 11, 9/11. Fuzzy comes out out of our one of our offices, and he said, "Man, some fucking idiot just crashed into the Twin Towers."
Yeah.
And we like, what? So we go into the office and we were watching the
so
World
they just
Trade Center
replayed it.
live, and we're looking at it live. We see that second plane.
It's just
come in.
like I thought it was a replay. Shout out to my landlord, Mr. Hood, rest in peace. He came in, he was banging on the door. I thought it was the feds. I was finna dive out the window, and he was screaming, "Glasses, get up!" And he said, "Man, they just ran the plane. He come in, they just ran the plane into a tower. Somebody." I'm like, "Damn!" I'm looking. He called his son on the phone. He walked out. I was like, "Oh, they just showed a replay." He said, "A replay." That was a second plane
Yeah.
going in the tower.
Yeah, when we saw the second plane go in, we saw it live.
Live.
You saw it
Yeah,
live,
live,
too.
yeah.
And we were like, oh, shit. And we tried to do regular radio. We tried to do like, phone
we had it,
taps and Mickey Ficky
Yeah,
mixes,
you
and then
couldn't
that
do it.
shit just got away from us. But that was the breaking points of what we were talking about with radio and how you got information. And now, you
look
got
at your phone
this.
first.
Harvey, TMZ, the one seemed like that. TMZ is the one breaking everything.
Oh, yeah,
if
man.
somebody gonna break it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I missed that. Y'all right. Like, how do we recapture that? Somebody got to gamble.
There's going to come a point where a platform comes along where it consolidates everything. It brings the best of podcasting, still simulcasts to the radio, still does all of those things. It's coming. It just hasn't happened yet.
Is it they turned their back on hip hop? Because I think they're still doing the same thing for country at this point, right?
No, I think that a lot of times it's just you go with the flow to keep your job. And if everybody is doing, if radio station said to me the other day, we're just playing the hits. We're just playing the hits. and those records are
want to keep people
tested,
listening.
and that's job security. No one wants to
I
try
got to
it.
go to work tomorrow, so just want to make sure. You know.
No, yeah.
You a part of the
that's
system,
great,
black man.
that's a great problem. That's a great thing to even see. Like, so figuring out you got to coerce, and that's the point. Even a label, like if you sign to a label, you can't get them to. Like, I'm thinking of how do I coerce radio to gamble?
Well,
on
I'll
my
tell you what's
record.
going to happen is those records are going to burn because everybody's playing the same stuff. Those records are going to burn, then everybody's going to go, what the fuck do I do? Because all of the ratings are starting to show it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? As far as the records, I mean, especially in an oversaturated market like Los Angeles, there's only so many times you could play Still DRE.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? And it's so many
We milk
times
the
you
shit
could
out
play
of Not Like
Kendrick.
Us.
Boy, they be
Yeah,
weird.
and that's what I was going to say, or Kendrick. So the fact that, you know, it's going to come to a point where people are backed into a corner and they're going to have to make changes.
Is
y'all
it
feel?
because it's all corporatized? I'm sorry, Big. I didn't mean to
Yeah.
cut you. Is it because it got all corporatized versus how when y'all first came in the game, it was still kind of
Well,
loose pieces? Is
Oh,
that
we
what
were
happened?
just wild.
They,
Like,
they trusted us to have feedback.
Yeah.
It was
Just
still
don't
with the
lose your
same.
license.
It was still with the same company.
Yeah. No.
So somebody else bought it now.
Yeah.
But was it the company before?
You know
Yeah.
what I think it was? Two glasses. I think it was the time.
Yeah.
It was the moment too. You know, like there's certain moments that you will have that doesn't repeat that can't repeat itself. No matter how much you know, you know that shit from once too many, 1,000 not enough. You can get somebody can get their first hit and they chase it. You know what I'm saying? So how many people still line up at fucking airports to, like how when the Beatles landed? People don't do that kind of shit anymore. There's just some things that's a sign of the time. You know, I was having a conversation with Ani that worked with us about how big Michael Jackson is,
God.
and how there would not be another artist like
Never.
that because, and then she was like, well, you know, it was the time, it was it, and that is true. But there's a lot of shit that came with the time that we were in the right places at the right time, and also, man, there wasn't a blueprint to a lot of the shit that we've done. Now you're starting to see certain things. It's like, oh, they did it like this, let's do it like this, or a sloppy carbon copy. We were just like, fuck it, let's go. You know,
But we was in the clubs. Big and I would go to the clubs multiple times a week. We saw what was going on
and
in
then
the
shit,
streets.
what the fuck are the clubs now?
Yeah.
You know, the clubs, you ain't breaking record. People don't dance. You know, everybody just in a fucking VIP section. You seeing real clubs that's starting to close down now. Like, it gets crazy how different shit is looking, you know? And also, man, anybody on top of AI,
Yeah.
yeah. That's going to be the next shit.
Well,
where-
we're in the exact same place that we were in '96.
Explain.
It's the same thing. It's gonna take, something is going to change, and AI, like the internet or like any of those things, is what's going to change it. Do you know what I'm saying? But like, it's just you know, when we were, I don't know how to put it. I mean, it's messed up that right now everything is so fragmented, but it takes a phoenix to rise from the ashes, and it is coming. And whether it's AI or whether it's some new technology or some new artist that does something different, it's just I'm smelling
It's
something's
going to be
coming.
the AI artist.
But you also got to move with the times too. Like,
Yeah, man.
Imagine if
Can you imagine if I still did carts and still
Yeah,
try to
like-
record on reel to reels and shit?
Like-
Like, man, I ain't letting this shit go.
what's a CD? I'm gonna still play with my vinyl and cassettes. Hey man, check that out.
It's crazy. That's the type of stuff. I think history, maybe not immediate history, but like 30, 40 years, it matters. It matters now because everything we even see new is something that somebody did. We just don't know they did it.
And vinyl is on the.
Exactly.
Vinyl's
Prime
cracking
example.
right
Somebody
now.
went right past cassettes, CDs to vinyls, and now vinyls is doing a number.
Doing it.
But like with the Dre and Snoop reunion or the Puffy in Paradise, it changed the way the radio was done. And all it's going to take is one
Somebody to
thing,
gamble.
that one gamble that pays off, that's going to be like, oh, that's what we need to do. You know what I'm saying? And
Like,
then everybody will follow it.
The upper management at Power at the time knew how to run radio.
Yeah.
We knew we knew what was going on in the streets.
Yeah.
So they asked us a lot of times of what is going on or what should we be doing.
So it is that same entitlement issue that I think that people, because everybody's spoiled with hip hop now, so they feel like they know it. Versus back then, they had the money and they say, "What should we do, fellas?" They knew that
Right.
you knew how the culture moved. Now all these people feel like, well, I'm just as tired as I follow that guy on Instagram. I know everything you know about the streets. You know, and that's where we seeing the
And
failure.
if they
People
stay
who
on
don't
cruise
know.
control and autopilot, they have job security. There's no chances. It's exactly what you said.
What brought you back?
Boredom.
Bored.
No, I mean,
Sitting
no,
around.
seriously, you know, it was crazy because Fuzzy sent me tagged me in a
picture?
post about,
Oh, my bad. I thought
yeah,
it was a
no,
nude. My
about
bad.
Midnight Love. And it was right as Grandma was passing.
Wow, that's crazy.
You know, and I was like, you know, people said, you know, you could never make yourself relevant again. You could never come back. You could never do
Really?
this. You could never
Somebody
do that.
told you that?
And then I saw the response from that post that you put up.
Wow.
So then I said, I did a post the day that I got back, and I was sitting there thinking, like, what the heck am I going to do? I made a post about Fuzzy. And that's the one that took off and started going viral. Then I
crazy.
said, then Felly Fell got fired. I said, what the fuck is this?
But you know what? But
And then it,
But just the power we were talking about of this device, bro. It's like when somebody say, "Oh, you know," paraphrasing, man, who's gonna listen? Or you can't come back. So you may not been able to fill out an application and get back into power, or fill out an application and go to But that's why now it's just like, okay, dude, I could just turn my camera on.
And be that.
And I can be exactly who I want to be, as opposed to somebody coming in and saying, "Oh man, we heard the thing that you said about Diddy, and we want you to stop that." And you're like, "No, fuck that." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is you talking straight to us, and I think that's where we are now, bro. Where you're talking straight to your consumer now. You know, and I think that's the beautiful thing, Glasses, about what you're doing in your music, is that you're talking straight to the consumer.
But being authentic.
Yeah.
Still being authentic.
And not having to take your blood, sweat, and tears and then hand it off to somebody else, or somebody tell you what the single is or what the video looks like. And that's what ownership is that we're starting to see now, man. We're starting to see this different kind of ownership. We're starting to see this different kind of calls on bullshit. Like, man, no, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
And you're starting to see that a lot more now, where people are gambling and betting on themselves, you know, because we put so much into the others for, you know, a large fraction of our careers, our lives, and it's like, nah, fuck that.
Imagine.
That's why I can't be mad at the Kai Cenats and,
Man,
you know what I'm
no,
saying?
they cracking.
Motherfucker that's like, man.
I had a conversation with Damizza, and right when I finally learned what records were, and I knew how to make mines. So not just this assembly line of idea, but like how to make something that was only Glasses record. That good, and I started making these records, and I'm like, okay, I finally, this is what a record is. Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
Damizza, streaming happens. And now this doesn't cater to that style of record that Ray Charles created. That kind of idea that has been assembly line in the music industry now, that the whole music industry was built off of this style of record. You know, post the 78s. You know, post the 78s. When you get to the 45s and here we are. Now this is a style of record, and here's streaming app that revolutionizes. And guess what? It's a different record. Like, you got people like Griselda. You got people like, you know, people that don't even use hooks. The whole Detroit, the whole Michigan movement of rap. You know, you got all these people who don't even have hooks, but they have these huge records. And these records are big. Some of them are gold and platinum and multi-platinum and all of this stuff, because they're making something that their audience could get
when
right
you
to.
said about Detroit and the hooks, why did that just hit me?
That's the trick. And that's what I realized. I'm like, streaming, when people type in rap, right? If I got Fuzzy phone and I type in rap, they want to hear you rap. They don't care about no hooks. They're not listening for the traditional record.
They're not the song.
Dude,
format.
I just saw something, Glasses, recently, and I failed to give the brother credit, but it was, you know, the hook should always be first. Do anybody know what I'm talking
Don't
about?
boys get to the chorus kind of idea.
Yeah, don't boards get to the chorus. But you saying now you feel like it's different
So-
on certain.
Now, if you have a song for 98% of the population, like we talking about in America, where you making a song that radio's gonna play, the hook is king.
Right, okay.
But on streaming apps, no.
Now, radio is key because it calls for call out.
Can somebody explain?
I'm sorry, I don't
Please,
mean to interrupt.
this is the
But what
Hangout.
you just said
Exactly.
is key to the game.
Exactly.
We were teaching artists research.
Exactly.
So we were organically finding records in the street, research and developing them, then sending them across the country and ultimately around the world. So it was research and development, but it came from organics.
But yeah, it was. But the call out would be a hook, right? But I'm gonna tell you what artist is clever, and she figured it out. And most of her records always start off with a hook. Rihanna. Rihanna, 9 times out of 10, you play a Rihanna record, it starts off with the hook. When they used to do research for radio, they only played a hook. That's why I would get mad at artists.
The hook.
Yeah, I would get mad at artists like, why is your song title something different than what the hook is saying? Like, it's simple. Like, artists, when somebody calling for a request, they'd be like, I want to hear blah, blah, blah. Oh, okay, that's what the hook says. All right, play it.
So to catch what I've been doing, right, is because I understand this, right? I kind of grew up and I got to talk to y'all and understand. I figured out records. Making Head a DJ kind of paid off in a different way, right? And I'm like, oh, okay. So right when I figured out, here's this new thing that we're listening to music on. And like to Damizza's point, right? It's not the biggest thing, but it's the know thing.
It's the thing.
It's what we're doing because we're always moving. The rest of the country is still doing this to this day, like to Damizza's stats.
Do anyone understand streaming?
I get it more now than ever before.
Remember, streaming is what got me out of radio. I left Power 106 to work with Beats Music, which turned out to be Apple Music.
You got to look at it like it's just another platform.
Exactly.
Power 106 is just a signal, but it's what's on that platform. Like I'm just doing minute and 30 radio breaks on Instagram instead of Power 106.
And I'm just making, and when I'm making my records, I'm like, yo, I'm not gonna waste time with a hook. Like I was studying a bunch of all of the 78s, the Ruth Brown's records, the Duke Ellington and Louis Jordan. I'm listening to all that, and I noticed the way we hear records, like that I was raised on from you guys stuff. It's like, okay, well, this is a hook. But then before that, they used to uniform a record completely different. They would have a chorus. They could change parts on that stuff versus when Ray Charles made I Got a Woman, and here we are with this monotonous thing that kind of teaches you what it is, and you catch that before you catch anything else. So I started making records for streaming only.
Yeah.
Like it's not even intention for radio at all.
And people's attention span is so short now.
Different.
You got to do short songs. Shorter the better. Like,
because literally, bro, and I mean, I think we're all, suspect, not victim. We're victims of it too. But we're suspects of it too. Because I'll go look at an interview and I'll say, "Oh shit, no."
I'm cool.
Like there's an interview with with Kanye West and Joe Rogan that I want to see like a motherfucker.
how long is it?
I think I looked at the time. I think I could be wrong. I think this shit was like 3 hours. I ain't watched it to this fucking day.
Right.
I skipped that. Yeah. And I love Kanye. I was like, I'll wait another time.
Because I looked at it and I was like,
You ain't got
shit,
time
man.
for it.
Yeah, I was
But
like,
the
I got
clips-
kids, I got a wife. Like, shit, mortgages, dude, I ain't doing this shit.
But
But
the
everybody
clips
wants-
outdo
they want it right now.
interview.
yeah, that's
The
true.
attention span,
Even
we do
now-
more on clips than we do on.
What about
YouTube
rollouts?
Shorts.
When we just saw clips, right?
Yeah.
And the clips, their radio or just their album rollout, it felt like they went back to basics. Did y'all feel that too?
Yes,
Cardi
yes,
B
yeah.
Cardi
with
B.
the
Cardi
album
B.
too, Am I the Drama? It felt like she's going back to basics. man.
Consolidating.
Yeah, but doing the in-store, doing the meet and greet, doing the giveaways, stopping by radio.
Vinyl.
Yeah, vinyl. You know what I'm saying? And she understands the power of radio as well.
Gotta do everything.
But do you feel like we're kind of getting back to that? Because even with that, it seems like we're getting back into albums too.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, and we're getting back into these bodies of music. Damizza, are you seeing that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what's great about it is it's that consolidation that I'm talking about. Is sooner or later you got to cherry pick the best of the best. The internet has given us a way to to gain access to everything in one place. It became a marketplace, and that's what I think with anything new, it takes a second to acclimate to it. And I think streaming is a part of it, but I think where it's going is you'll send your single to Spotify and all these other places, but your direct to consumer platform will be where your album is. Do you see what I'm saying?
And
I think that's
what
where
we've been talking about. That's
someone like
kind
a
of my
Glass.
idea, where I'm like, this is meant to just expose people to your music. It's not meant to, like, there's nothing to promote an album on streaming platforms. There's very minimal things. It's really a simple one song.
Right.
And
It's
I feel
the
like,
attention getters and
so imagine like, okay, y'all are just a little older than me. Imagine there was a time when music wasn't made for cars because you didn't play music in cars. That's probably too young. Y'all probably too young for that. But there was a time.
These motherfuckers like the black and white, man. You know,
No.
when I
because-
Love Lucy was a
No, I'm
weekly
saying
series.
when vinyls hit, right before you started playing music in cars, right, the 8-track, and Dr. Dre and them came in a time when music in a car was at another level, and we don't really see it that way.
People
But
just put car sound system.
man, and that was
We
so all the
purposely
music.
did our cars for sound systems.
Now, guess what?
Everybody's listening.
You should do it here, or you should do it for the vinyl. There are so many. I told somebody the other day, this is the greatest time to be in hip hop. Maybe not the music industry, but in hip hop.
Why? Because
it is so many different things you can do. You just got to stop being so mechanical.
So many layers to
It's
it.
97 again.
I said hip hop, it's the 80s. You could have something could be the biggest thing in the world, and you have no idea what's going on. Like that dude that's going through that case with the little girl that passed away in his trunk.
Yeah, David.
I had no idea who this motherfucker
Same.
was. Who the fuck is he?
And his streaming numbers is out the roof right now.
But before that,
But
he
even
had
before
multiple.
that.
Yeah, he had multiple platinum records.
Yeah,
know who he
man,
was.
millions
Who
of
is
followers.
this dude? He's a video gamer guy who used to play the video game, and somebody said, "Hey, you should make music," and he just started making
We see
music.
that with DDG.
And the
You
pandemic
know what I'm
blew
saying?
up.
Like,
Yeah. So it's like, to Damizza's point, and this is something I think we talked about, is like, okay, if I'm going to focus on streaming, I'm going to make records for that. I'm going to maximize the opportunity, right? I'm going to maximize the dollars, and I'm going to force it to make me get even more creative with ideas. I'm not going to take an idea that came from our era of listening to music, the Ray Charles era of, okay, here's a record. No, this is for this specifically.
Right.
Now, if radio said, hey, you know, I kind of like that, you know, cool, but this is for that. So a listener will get way more a bang for their buck.
You know what I do, bro? I pay a lot of attention to my kids and see what moves certain shit for them too. You know what I'm saying? People always ask like, man, how did you stay in radio for so long? It's because I know my ways. But there's sometimes, man, a lot of people don't want to be taught a history lesson. A lot of people don't want to say what they used to do it like this back in my days and all that kind of shit, man. So it's crazy because it's crazy what my kids think is the GOAT in anything.
Different era.
You know what I'm
Time.
saying? Basketball,
this guy.
music. You know, like I took my son to see Yeet, right? And I'm sitting here, and what I do now is I study shit. Like, why are you fucking with Yeet? What do you like about him? You know, and you can sit here and say something about the show or whatever it is. Oh, you know, I couldn't, you know, Playboy Cardi, I can't understand them. But I'm looking at what used to be our Playboy Cardi,
100%.
what used to be our Yeet. And how other people like, man, that shit y'all listen to all this, blah, 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 blah. They just talking, you know, and you see this evolution that's going on today. And you see some of the biggest platforms that we've been standing on. When we were talking about Bad Bunny getting Super Bowl, right? If you look at, and we'll talk about this as well, but when they announced Bad Bunny on Super Bowl, I thought for sure that they were going to genre bend. I thought they were going to go Taylor Swift, that Morgan Wallen, or, you know, I thought they was like, because you got to figure we got Weeknd and
we've been getting
no
it-
order.
we've been
We got
getting it all.
Weeknd, Usher, Dr. Dre and Friends, J-Lo and Shakira. We got Usher. We got
did Beyonce
Kendrick.
do it? Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and now with Bad Bunny, when y'all saw the announcement of Bad Bunny doing Super Bowl, what were your first thoughts?
Smart. Brilliant.
Bravo. He's
Yeah, brilliant.
Glasses.
Brilliant. Like, how could you? I thought like y'all. I thought they was gonna go country.
Yeah.
Country is the
Yeah.
belle of the ball right now. They was like, nah, we gonna make it funny. We gonna make it interesting. We gonna shout out to the NFL for letting Jay and them figure out ways to make that part of the conversation. Because that used to be an accessory to the conversation until the Rock Nation people got involved. The halftime show was an accessory to the game.
Yeah.
Now it's taking over. The guy, it was like
thing.
Bad Bunny performing. Oh, they having a football game too?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'll check all that out after this Bad Bunny concert. So to even take advantage of the marketing with, you know, him canceling his tour, it was like a media blitz. It's going to be the biggest conversation going
And
on.
especially where
genius.
the world and where the country is at right now.
Yeah.
And even with his residency, how he was speaking about he's going to do his residency in Puerto Rico because he also, you know, and another reason was he didn't want his fans to be harassed by ICE,
what-
by rolling up
Great
to these
thing,
different
yeah.
spots.
Great
you know,
thing
But that
catch
plays
on.
into the whole
Yeah,
thing.
they knew it.
That's why it was so genius.
Bro.
Is it dominated social media and called attention to the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
And you may get a
And
kid-
what people don't realize about Bad Bunny is it goes Taylor Swift, Drake, Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
When it comes to streaming, he broke 100 million
Yeah,
stream
he is.
billion.
I saw
billion.
Vlad saying that stupid shit. I'm like, bro, he got way too many American hits. He's on
him.
the Hot 100 is an American chart. This does not take
He's
into
number
account.
3.
What Vlad said.
Yeah, this-
So I can read that.
Yeah, this does not count. I don't care what language he's speaking. Whatever it is, everybody know his song. It's like when I go do shows in Japan. They know every word and don't speak English.
Right.
Because it's music. So I think it was very ingenious because they're taking advantage of what's going on. Like,
Have you seen the music business in Japan, by the way?
Oh my
No.
God.
They are so. I mean, they're still doing CDs. They're still doing
doing
vinyl.
physicals.
They're still going platinum off CDs.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
They're
That
doing
the
physicals.
streaming thing ain't even.
Yeah.
So what Vlad said is Bad Bunny headlining the Super Bowl is strange to me. I'm glad he's getting such a huge opportunity, but none of his songs are in English, and I don't speak Spanish. Most of the audience at the Super Bowl won't speak Spanish. Only 14% of Americans speak Spanish, so most of the television audience won't know or understand his songs either. I could see him doing a major event like FIFA or World Cup where there is a massive Spanish audience, but the Super Bowl doesn't make sense. It seems like the NFL is trying to expand its Latino audience at the expense of its existing fans. What are your thoughts?
He don't go to a fucking NFL game, do he? That's what I went to a Charger and Rams game. All this. Man, he tripping.
Look, it's a problem with the world today is everybody thinks it's white that controls the culture. It's not. The biggest NFL fans are not middle America white people no more.
Right. But you know, we were talking about this earlier today, this morning too, where the climate of the United States is different, and the same way we celebrated it. That's true. Somebody else would probably be like, "Man, nah, fuck that. I hate
America.
that."
That's the beauty
But
of
you don't
America.
think Bad Bunny's gonna make a statement at the
And that's
halftime
what I
show?
think. That's what
They
the
booked
problem
the
is too,
statement.
Fuzz, is that people are afraid of the statement
Oh, he's
too.
gonna make a statement.
They booked the statement.
Right.
That's what they
That's
did with
it.
Kendrick too, though.
They
Oh, yeah.
booked
Look what Kendrick's
this-
halftime
That's
Look
what
show
they
at
did
look
with
like.
Drake.
Look,
That's what
but
they
when
did with
Kendrick,
Drake.
when Samuel L. Jackson
Yeah.
put that stamp on it.
Now you're gonna have part 2 of that.
Same
Yeah.
way with
Exactly.
Snoop and Dre. They booked a statement. The NFL got them people over there, Jay and them. They are.
Say
they
that
know.
part again. The Dre
They
and
know.
Snoop thing.
That's a statement. And so, very much, this is a bunch of people. You know, I heard the NFL and the president got their own little issues. So guess what? You book a statement. And now you have the biggest statement. This man got, I think it was like 60 or 7 Hot 100 hits. He got
Be him.
15 top 10 hits. Like, come on. It don't matter what language. People think English is American. Bro, that's England's language.
It's a part
But
of
It's
the
called
game.
English.
But see how
I've
the
been arguing about
NFL.
Spain and Spain's language. They're the same. They speak it all around the world.
But see
He
how
got
the
hits.
NFL changed and adapted to the culture, like WWE does. Same thing. Radio will do that at some point. Get smart and go.
Do you
Oh, wait a minute.
Do you think this chases sponsors away or bring more sponsors in?
Sponsors gonna-
This is the
just
Super
different.
Bowl.
It's more eyeballs gonna
They
be on
already
the
sold it
Super Bowl.
out.
Yeah, it's
No,
the
I saw the news
Super
report
Bowl.
this morning. They already sold out the ads
It's
for the Super Bowl.
Damn.
Bowl. They don't even. This is the smartest thing in the. This is simple. Like, you need to be a part of the conversation. You have to understand if you're not a part of the conversation, there's no need. We're not going to talk about you. You're not going to do good.
Yeah.
And I get it. Vlad was looking for that all-American Bruce Springsteen show. That's not going to happen. Nobody's going to care if you bring that person today. So they booked a statement. Somebody who's going to make a statement. They took advantage of his momentum, and he got all the records in the world.
Man,
And
Vlad
you said,
did
we
it
saw
too,
that
though.
We saw that with Kendrick.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
Vlad
listen.
just did it too. He made a controversial statement
And
to
look,
go
to be in the
viral.
media.
You guys remember that Living Color started the whole halftime?
Oh yeah,
Exactly.
Hell
disruption,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So then what the NFL do next year? They got Michael
Michael
Jackson.
Jackson.
Like, still making a statement.
Yeah, and in Living Color, when they did their
They
their
had people turn
halftime,
away from that
and,
channel.
Yeah, you turned away
To go
from
to watch
the
Living
football
Color.
game.
Yeah.
because it wasn't on the same network.
No.
You remember that?
Yeah.
It was on a different network.
You turned away.
Yeah.
So,
So the NFL is not lose. They're not playing anymore, and they went
They
and
want
got
more eyeballs. Let's-
yeah, they went and got a
welcome it.
company. They went and got a. They'll be getting y'all next to do it. They'll be trying to make y'all plan it. All the Snoop and them. They be, hey, y'all need to plan this because they're trying to compete. And to Damizza's point, hopefully radio makes that change.
Well, look what Snoop is doing with the Olympics.
Oh my God! And they just got
back at
dogged
the
in
winter-
for 2026. Right?
That was
For
the
us.
smartest.
And they're kicking off the promo
Snoop
now.
had us watch the Olympics.
And our whole life we never
Hello.
What
watched.
day it was.
Never
it
watched
wasn't
it.
no fucking
Snoop
like,
on
oh, it's
there?
basketball today. I was watching.
See where
football.
Snoop
is at.
I was
Follow
watching all
Snoop.
kind of shit.
He mentioned Dub C.
Right,
I remember I was like, oh, this is the greatest thing I ever saw.
Yeah, man.
And so no, like yeah, like it's
You know, and what's crazy about it is if you go back to '97 when we
Yeah.
were doing curb serving and Big Boy in the morning, who would have fucking thought that hip hop would take us this far?
Yeah, man. You never thought. You
I mean,
never
when we
thought,
were
bro.
doing, I mean, I remember getting pulled into Michelle Mercer's office and told that I'm going to get fired for playing "Ain't No Fun in Morning
Dude,
Drive."
I remember
Wow.
getting suspended for rapping at school.
Damn.
You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? And I remember, dude, I even saw with hip hop, I saw when the audience changed. You know, because I would go to certain concerts and it would just be us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Us. And then I started seeing black and brown. And then one time I was going by this concert and I knew where I was going. But
Yeah.
I said, man, if I had recorded this crowd standing in line, what concert would they think I was going to? It was blocks and blocks of white people.
Yeah.
And it was, I think it was Jay-Z and Beyonce, Jay-Z.
For sure.
But it's crazy what this genre has become. When you say you never thought that hip hop would take it this far, when you see Snoop Dogg crip walking at the fucking Super Bowl, you see
and they tried to have outrage. And then the white people were like, chill out, that's Snoop.
Right.
Stop.
But I
Just
see
don't
why
do
white
that.
people are so mad right now in politics and all this kind
Sure.
of shit. Is because they feel like they're
Like, hold up, y'all
they're
just
getting
leaving us
phased
out.
Yeah.
And I'm watching. I saw a video the other day where it was a white man using rap music to talk about lynching a brother, and I'm like,
yeah,
this is
man,
just
that
odd.
shit. But yeah, I know.
This
I
is
don't want to
just
talk
odd.
about, but I know the song. Yeah,
I was like, this is odd.
yeah, man.
But that's the power,
That's
and I'm
crazy.
proud to know that y'all like that's a big deal to me. Like y'all,
That's crazy.
I swear to God, like just sitting. I didn't think about what was happening today, but you guys are so instrumental in what happened with Los Angeles hip hop, and to hear these conversations of how y'all powered it through.
Yeah, man.
And then now we look and it's everybody's. Everybody's like, oh, it was a no brainer. And Big Boy just, it was no brainer. Like,
it's funny.
you gambled.
It's funny. Someone said to me the other day, and this is to go back to what you were saying about the Dre and Snoop thing. Imagine if we didn't do that one promotion, the Dre and Snoop reunion. Imagine if we did not put Dre and Snoop back together in 2001.
Right.
Yeah, man.
How different would Eminem, Exhibit, 50 Cent? I mean, not just that, but think of Power's influence on the world. Ja Rule, Ashanti, Jay-Z. I mean, think of the impact of that platform over the years.
And we've seen it now, bro, get played out in front of the world. We've been to Japan together. We've been to Japan together. You've been to Japan. You see what hip hop look like in these foreign countries, and the not even the mimic of like, oh, they trying to clown.
No, they
us.
serious.
Yeah, you
they take it
over
serious.
there, bro. I
Low
remember-
riders. It's low riders all in the parking lot.
Yeah, man.
And they're rapping every word, and I'm like, so I jump off talking to them, and they don't speak no English.
Yeah.
The first
But
time
they
I
look
went
like
to
they do.
Japan was with you.
That's
And I'll
crazy.
never forget getting off the plane and we were walking. I said, oh, Big, there's going to be a fight. And I saw a guy flamed up from head to toe. And I saw a guy in blue standing right next to him. And he goes, Miz, he goes, they don't understand the culture, but they understand
They
the
ain't
image.
tripping like that.
They ain't tripping.
Nah,
They just love it.
And I was just like, wow. And then a lowrider picked us up. And he's like, by the way, you're going to have to do this song. And I was like, what fucking, it's on NBA Live? Like, what are you talking about? They'll know every word, trust me.
word.
We
It's
did
just-
that song, they knew every word. I was sitting there just like, what the heck?
It's just a different love for the genre too, man. And we've seen it come so far. And I don't even think in our lifetime we've seen what this thing will become even more so. You know what I'm saying? Like it's still, it's still the genre that people, often imitate, some duplicate, some people, want to get into it. Corporate America's recognize it. I remember when it wasn't even commercials about it. Now you see Reynolds rap. You see people rapping about it. Like this shit is
We had to
and now
take the
mustard
rap
got
out.
mustard.
Heinz mustard.
Yeah, mustard got mustard, bro. You know what I'm saying? So-
And it's amazing, bro. It's,
We
y'all
had to take the
contributions.
rap out to put it on the radio.
oh
Yeah,
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 hell yeah,
yeah.
hell yeah.
The
man.
rapless version.
Hey man, let me ask you this. When we saw the whole Kendrick Lamar and Drake thing, you know what I'm saying? And it's not too far removed. It's not
Sure,
hella
that's
in
true.
there, you know, and I think there'll be an asterisk next to just a lot of shit.
Permanently.
Yeah. But when you guys saw that beef go down, at one point Drake is the biggest artist. Kendrick is the biggest artist to a lot of people. What did y'all feel when that first started and you saw the tennis match that was going on?
Just mowing him down. That's all I
Yeah,
thought about. Mow him down, boy. Mow him down. I remember talking to him at the time, and I'm just like, you know what to do. This is your, like, you know what to do. It was like, it actually is probably the greatest thing I ever saw. And to happen to a friend, it was like, to watch him do the stadiums, like, I was worried about hip hop before that because it was kind of getting diluted down. It did started feeling like a bunch of pop music. It started being surface level conversations, nothingness, and it's cool because hip hop has always had party songs, but it just felt like it lost its soul. And probably the most soulful artist today,
Right.
gave it another chance to exist, and that's what it felt like.
But I remember, man, when Drake hit Kendrick twice, and I was like, man, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I felt like it was going to be like, there was no way that you gear up to say, man, I'm about to go lose this battle, and I'm going to lose this battle in a hell of a
First
motherfucking
battle.
way.
First battle in the public eye.
Yeah, and this is, am I going to Meek Mill him? Am I going to go back to back on him? You know, and
First battle, big. Like this man done battled 6-7 times. First battle. My boy just go up there and act a fool and just serve the whole world.
Went nutty.
Just
And
crazy.
created a tour in a hip hop classic album like
Yeah, man.
GNX.
And ended
like,
it in the Super Bowl.
ended it.
And ended it
What?
in the Super Bowl.
And,
They just
performing
did
a diss
Mexico.
record.
And the Grammys ain't even hit yet. Like, bro,
I
what?
remember
And pointed at the camera. I'm like,
I
And
remember
the whole
dude,
crowd yelled
and we
pedophile.
sitting here.
All the
remember
Los Angeles
feeling,
came
people
out.
Got a feeling
Oh,
of,
man.
Do you know where you were? Do you know where you were feeling for a lot of different things,
Bruh.
Right? Do you remember watching Super Bowl and when it
all-
was like, I'm like, man, he's not gonna do. He can't do it like us.
They
This
booked
the Super
it.
Bowl.
I'm with Damizza. They booked it. Oh, you have to do this
That was
song.
in the
Right,
promo.
yeah.
We're booking
It was in the
this.
promo.
Bro.
We want this.
But my shit was, I literally was like, man, he can't.
Everybody
Do it.
said
And then when is he really gonna do it?
Yeah.
I'm like, man,
he
he
got-
really
he got
gonna
me.
do
Yeah,
it? Like, what the fuck?
Is he really going to
And
do
then-
it?
yeah, and then when that backed up, I was like,
He
oh,
pointed in that
shit.
camera.
Rock.
But that's that feeling.
Yeah,
That is
man.
that
You know what I'm saying?
feeling.
Yes.
That's the thing that every one of those powerhouses, everyone, when I'll tell you when what that feeling came back, because I'm with you, Glasses. That feeling was lost for a minute in hip hop to me.
yeah.
When I saw the Super Bowl and Snoop and Dre walk out,
That was
I
big.
said, it's
I was
coming
there.
back.
Let me tell you, bro.
That's
I
the
went
first
to the
thing that
you was
popped in
there,
my head.
The
right?
rehearsals?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were at the rehearsals, and I remember going to rehearsals for Dr. Dre and friends. But that, it's Dr. Dre, Snoop, Eminem, Kendrick, Mary J. Blige, 50 Cent. I say M, and I'm watching this shit. I'm like, they about to fuck the
yeah.
world up with this.
Yeah.
And they did it the way that they were supposed to do it. They did it in their authentic selves.
They made it, and they made it for us.
Yeah.
That to me,
And
that's
when
the
you looked at it, man,
hip hop is us, and you saw us. They did such a great job, man. I was
the Lolos,
so proud.
the
The
Cat,
dance,
50
Everybody
upside
dancing.
down.
yeah,
That's
man.
what
Like
I
it
tell
was all
dog,
perfect.
Man. That's what I tell. I'm like, bro, you could never lose because you represent us.
Say that again.
Us. Hip hop is the movement of we, not the movement of me. It's we. Where do we stand in this
Yeah.
whole thing?
Yeah.
And that I remember that was a great point. Like
But
I remember
as a culture,
seeing
though,
that. Like,
It didn't
oh
matter
my
whether
God.
you're white, black, purple, green.
love it.
Didn't matter what.
Dude, I remember I was at the Super Bowl, and when Kendrick popped up, it was a Caucasian lady next to me, and she was like, "Oh, who is that?" I'm like, oh, that's Kendrick. I run down
you
a
run into
small
it.
little such and such. Who would have thought, like, what was it, 2 years later, probably?
Yeah.
Should have been
Yeah,
like,
he
oh,
right
that's the
back at
guy.
it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the guy.
Hip hop won a Pulitzer Prize.
Yes, bro.
That's fire, bro.
Drake underestimated
Completely.
K Dot,
I think so.
not Kendrick. K Dot is still
Yeah,
him.
he just didn't know.
He didn't know.
He just didn't know.
And Drake is him. Like he's a popular.
He just didn't know.
He
Ego's
just
a
didn't know.
motherfucker.
I think people really thought the title of Good Kid, Mad City, they thought that was really Kendrick. Kendrick's
Yeah.
not the good kid. He's the Mad City.
Right.
And Drake figured it out that day right there.
Yeah.
That day, that whole battle, he was like, I totally underestimated how this
Yeah,
was
man.
going to go.
Yeah.
It was like a pit bull grabbing on somebody's arm and not letting go.
Yeah, man.
And he's going to get a pleasure off of fucking with you all the time.
What Mike
Because you
Tyson
won't
said,
stop.
everybody got a plan until you get punched in the face. So.
Man.
When I knew it was getting tricky when Drake dropped the video with the song, like, oh damn, okay.
Man,
Then
30
minutes later,
Ooh.
what?
Bro, remember when Not Like Us dropped?
Yes.
Because he dropped back to back, right?
Yes.
Kendrick dropped like doo-doo. I tell this story all the time, bro. I'm in Vegas. Fuzz is like, man, you hear this, Kendrick? And I'm like, yeah, man, such and such. Do you remember this conversation,
Man,
Fuzz?
hit you, yeah.
I'm like, yeah, man. He said this. He's like, no.
It's a new one.
It's another one.
He said he dropped it. And I'm like, what? And I don't know if you sent it to me or whatever the fuck. I'm literally in my hotel room in Vegas. And I hear this shit start. I see dead people.
Oh, man.
Crazy.
As soon as this I'm like, dude, I'm literally
I
in
was
my
so
hotel
proud.
room like.
The emotions that Dot has sent me through over the last 24, I haven't felt like this since I was a little kid. Like, no lie, since like high school.
Yeah.
Like, this is the type of thing because it felt so like awesome to. True joy is when you can watch your friend triumph. I remember we was on a tour bus, he telling me like he couldn't get this Corvette. He's like, I ain't gonna never be able to have one of these. I said, man, you sound crazy. They manufacture these. You can finance one of these. You can have way more than that. And then he went and got way more than that.
Let me
He
ask
just
you,
went and got
let me
way
ask you a question,
more.
G. How did it feel to hear your name
Oh my
when he
God.
shouted you out
Oh,
the
yeah.
Grammys, bro?
Man, I was screaming so
Say,
loud. I didn't
ask
hear
that
it.
again, bro.
I want to see how it felt when Kendrick Lamar at the Grammys said your name.
I was screaming so loud I didn't hear him.
That's crazy.
Because
You was
he
screaming
won,
for him.
Bro, he won the 5th for one. Who the fuck wins 5 Grammys for one song?
So you screaming for him and you
Because-
didn't even catch
No.
what he gave to you.
Mo lady said it. He
Glasses.
said, I think this nigga said your name.
He said your name. Bad luck.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Luck.
Mikey, K-Boy. And I'm like,
K-Boy.
what? But because I remember saying that to him, texting like, man, what if you win all 5? Man, you ain't gonna give me this pop category. What if you win all 5? Like, I'm telling you, this is special. Like, you can't, this energy is special. I remember telling him, like, you think so? I'm like, man, this energy is, I ain't felt this since I was a little kid.
And we all rooting for you, Playboy.
And they said his name on that 5th Grammy, because that was the biggest one. Like, that
And he
was
popped out.
Yeah.
Come on, in a pop, 2 in the pop category, he get the biggest one. And I'm
came up there.
I'm
And
yelling.
no one knew he was there. I was in the audience.
Oh, really though?
The vibe when it was like,
Yeah.
oh shit, he's here.
I was yelling. So when he was talking, I'm screaming, like, losing it. And she was like, I
Dude, I
think
wonder
this
if Ani
nigga
was
said
out
your name.
Was that at the Grammys? When Kendrick? Oh, okay, shit.
So I think this nigga said your name. And I had to listen to the whole thing, and I finally rewinded it. And I'm like, that's why this nigga, what type of nigga give his biggest moment at that moment to another nigga?
But
or
that
some
means
niggas?
you mean a lot to him or the.
But
you
it-
know what I'm saying? Like,
Sure, but it
Hip
really
hop
tells
does.
you, yeah,
Hip hop does.
it really tells you who he is.
he ain't never switched up. I'm telling you this.
Yeah, straight up.
Kendrick's been the same. Him and Dave Free. They're my
Oh,
partners.
yeah, bro.
They've been, both of them brothers have been the same from the giddy up.
Top, all of them. Who gives their moment to their biggest moment
Solid dude.
to another
Solid.
guy, to another group of people, bro? That's him, though.
Solid.
So it was like the greatest. I haven't had that much joy in a long time.
Because you're happy, naturally happy for him.
But see,
Yeah.
that goes back to what we were talking about. That Kendrick was what we were doing at Power.
Exactly.
That style.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what he's saying, what Glasses is saying, is that's what he grew up on.
Yeah.
So
That's what
going
we
back,
did.
so
All of
going
us.
back
Right.
to the influence of what
That's why it means so
You know
much.
what I get a lot, Damien and Big, and we were doing stuff for people without no one's asked for handouts or whatever. If we liked the record, we would just play it, and that meant a lot to a lot of people. I still get compliments like, "Hey man, you play woo woo woo." I'm like, "You remember that?" Like, yeah, like that changed my life. I'm like,
I think that's the reason why too, man. Like I can walk in LA
anywhere, bro,
without a bodyguard.
anywhere, bro.
The city got me. Yeah. You know, and you can get a goofy. I ain't had one, but you can get a goofy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a different love.
Yeah, there's a different love because there's a difference between being authentic and being bullshit.
100%.
And I think that's the reason why everybody can sit here with whatever years we have under us and can still walk into a room
and be welcome.
And be welcome and don't owe you nothing and fuck him and he did this to me and none of that kind of shit.
Could you imagine how tough my job would be if Big was a shock jock or just an asshole radio personality?
Yeah.
We wouldn't be able to get gas. I wouldn't be able to call so-and-so. I wouldn't be able to work with
and
Dre.
I run out of gas. I get gas in any neighborhood too, bro. You know, because the
100%.
city got me. And that's a trust that you can't buy. Money can't buy that love, bro. Money can't buy people that just fuck with you on handshakes. You know, I've been invited to everything. The barbecue, the carne asada, I get in, you know, shit, the bar mitzvah. You know what I mean? I get invited to everything, bro, because
it's
the authentic self.
But it's a lost form we don't take advantage of now. People don't know how to go. It's called relationships. I have great relationships. I hang my hat on that. But you have to talk to people, and I think we're losing that with artists.
Social media,
like
social media.
they hide right here.
DM you. Think
they're
they
gonna
talk
DM
to
you.
you.
Like what Fuzzy just said is relationships. Like when you said, how did you come back? People that I mentioned reposted me.
Yeah.
And then their audience would come.
You know what's crazy about that, man? Like there's someone, like I get it all the time. And we're all gonna get it from when this dropped. But I get it all the time where I sat down and I had an interview with Dana White, right?
Okay.
And I'm reading the comments, and I don't read a lot of comments. You know what I'm saying? Because I just kind of put my shit out and whatever. I give a fuck. But I'm reading the comments, and people are like, who is this guy? Like, I really love this guy.
Ain't that dope?
Who's doing the interview? You know what I'm saying?
He's pretty
31 years,
good.
Never heard of
this
him.
guy. Ain't that crazy?
Yep. They're going to know Glasses. They're going to know Fuzz. They're going to know Big Boy. They're going to know Damizza. But it's crazy. And the reason why I bring this up is because there's a guy that works on the show with me named Jesus Sepulveda, right? And Jesus is like talking, and he's dropping his knowledge. He was like, you ever heard of this guy named Damizza?
Brother.
Maybe once or twice.
I'm like, bro.
Who said that?
Jesus that work with me.
Oh, wow.
So it's crazy when somebody tap in with you. You
It's
know
an
what I'm
entry
saying?
point. It's an
like,
entry
you gotta
point.
think, as long as we known Kendrick, some people didn't know their introduction
no
was not
idea.
like us, or their introduction was a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But it was crazy
Man.
how my man was asking me if I knew you. You know what I'm
do-
saying?
like,
do I?
Because you don't know when somebody's gonna latch on or get you for the first time.
Yeah.
And that's what goes back to saying is we all collectively I've never heard a bad word about you.
Right. Oh, no.
I've never heard a bad word about you.
Man.
And I've never heard a bad word about you.
Hey man, you know what's crazy about Glasses? I remember it was. I'm not gonna say what it was. It had nothing to do with me. Nothing to do with me. But it was something that could have been in L.A. That could have been like a firecracker. It could have been or a keg. You know what I'm saying? And I remember I got a call, and I was like, "Yo," I was like, "Glasses." He was like, "Yeah, big." He said, "Don't get involved with this shit."
Straight up.
Yeah. I was like, no. He said, like, yeah. He said, big, you know, don't. This ain't you. Don't get involved.
Take this kite. I'm flying you a kite.
You probably don't even remember. What it
I
was.
know exactly what you're talking about. Because it's not going to be too many times I ever called any of y'all on no bullshit. So the very few times I felt like it was like I was going to have to do it, it's like I can remember those times.
Yeah, he was like, yeah.
You know what
big.
tripped me out about Glasses is there is nobody that I have ever met in my life that is more knowledgeable about hip hop and connected to the streets than you.
Oh yeah, bro.
I got blessed, man. I was street first, and then hip hop came along, and you know it saved my life. I know I said that at the beginning of the show, but it's like I used to sell PC. I was going down, man. I was going down a bad path, and I got a great producer. Guido produced my first album. Shout out to Game and Face, who gave me this platform. And I had a great business mind, and it blew up, and I made all this money, and I never had to sell PCP again. I never had to sell Sherm again. But I didn't know about hip hop. I knew how to rap. I was articulate, and I was street as hell. But when I finally, again, making head a DJ,
Yeah.
Head was just my buddy that was funny. Head used to get broads. He could dance. You would never think this old serious nigga that be around. You would never
Right.
think this, but
DJ
Head was
Head.
like a social butterfly. And I remember I was like, man, we around each other, he promoting. I'm like, hey, man, I'm gonna make you my DJ because he was articulate and smart.
Right.
So I'm gonna make you my DJ, man. You in the tech, you can figure it out. We got some equipment, here you go. And he got good at it, and just him learning how to DJ, and he picked it up so quick, and him showing me, exposing me. I had made $2 or $3 million by 2011 and didn't know what a BPM was. At all. Head teaching me what a BPM was changed my life, and that's how
You were
hip-hop
already
became
into
a
music.
thing.
You didn't know what like.
I had
beats
already
per
hit a
minute
record. I had to hit record, and I didn't know what a BPM was. I had to hit record, and you just didn't know. But when I finally figured out what it was, and
Is
I'm
that
a
where the
numbers
switch
guy.
flipped, where you
That was
started
it.
studying?
Chemistry,
because,
yeah, the
like
science
I
of it.
said, there's nobody that studies.
Yeah,
There isn't a record that drops in hip hop that he doesn't know every lyric to.
Yeah.
Who produced it? What studio it was in? Like, I mean, everything. Is that where that?
2011? Yes, because I'm a math guy. I'm a numbers guy. That's what made me good at selling drugs and hustling. I'm a math guy. I could take an idea. I could see everything in numbers. So to know there was numbers in music and records and BPM, and I fell down that hole, samples, and then I started learning about this culture. It got to the point I stayed in New York for months. I just stayed there. I was hanging out in all the
Learning.
projects, just chilling with everybody, shooting dice and all that. I drove around this country, going to every ghetto where hip hop came from, where artists came from, just to feel it. And you know how street, it raised you out here. We can go anywhere.
Yeah.
I was shooting dice in Dayton, Ohio, chilling. I'm in Jersey with the
You just moving
great
around.
streets. I'm just chilling. I bought a Malibu wagon, a car that I could fix.
Yeah.
Man, I was just driving that thing around. I swear to God, it was like the greatest experience of my life. And it just
College.
gave me this love for hip hop, and I just been falling down this hole. I've been learning hip hop pre-NWA. I've been talking to the Rappers Rap Disco Company, Frosty. I've been talking to all the Uncle Jam's Army. Me and Pooh,
man.
we got 2 hours. Me and Ice-T have 3-4 hour conversations. Short. I'm hitting Snoop. I'm hitting
You
everybody.
just sponge of it. You sponge it.
Because now I'm in love. It don't mean nothing.
yeah.
It don't have to mean anything.
That's what we all have in common.
I'm
I'm
still
in
in
love
love
with
with
it.
it. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. I think that's why you get protective over it too.
Sure.
I'm very
That's
passionate
the
about it.
problem.
Yeah.
And
yes.
then at one point when you start seeing certain things happen, and it's like, don't look at motherfuckers and say, oh, they got gray in their hair, they got gray in their beard. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen to the wisdom that motherfuckers give to you too. That's the one thing that people used to say, man. People say the word OG, but they don't know what the word. There was this respect for the OG.
100%.
That I feel like you hear it now, but there was a respect for the OG, and anything that somebody's giving you, it's not about bitter because we all in the game, we all good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just giving this game to other people as well, and not younger motherfuckers, but
Whoever
just
want it.
whoever
Yeah,
want
whoever want it.
this game. Come get this game. You know what I'm saying? Because I know when I was walking, if somebody said, "Hey man, this person went down that alley and got their ass beat. That person went down the alley, got their ass beat. That person, I'm not walking down that alley.
I have
You know
a
what I'm saying?
saying.
Listen to this motherfucker.
That's real
Like,
spit.
trust game.
I have a saying to say that is, I'd rather ask the OG on the block directions and not get shot on the way to the liquor store.
Yeah,
Hey.
you got to, bro. Now, which way?
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Hey, in the
Walk this
relationship
way.
game, something just happened with Damien and I had to call Damien because his name got thrown in some shit. And I'm like, I'm just gonna call him. And they didn't think, I'm like, y'all understand me and Damien, we go back. Like,
Yeah, man.
I'm just gonna call him. And Damien said what he had to say. I said, all right, don't worry about it. I'm gonna fix it. And that's because of the relationship. Right. Like, you gotta have a relationship. We're older, but I'm passionate about.
I tell
like,
my kids, my son is 18.
Yeah.
My daughter just turned 17.
Damn, that's
right?
crazy.
And I tell them, I say,
Wow.
you know what? You gotta live life right.
Yeah.
And because you're gonna know some people, God willing, for a long time.
The trick is,
And
I
people
think
gonna know who you are, and they're gonna know a past. They're gonna know how you dealt with them. You know what I'm saying?
they're
they're
gonna
gonna remember all that.
Yep.
We
Yep.
invest
And the
in
file
people.
pulling now is easier. That shit is easier because it's documented. Go ahead, Glasses.
we invest in people. That's our counterbalance.
Yeah.
We believe in people. And in a time when everybody's like, fuck people, we're like, nah, I'm gonna hold on to people. I'm gonna just go out. This is people. We invest in people. And I think that's what it is. I've always invested in people.
Yeah.
And here we've opened so many doors for each other.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Like I couldn't have come back if it wasn't for you. Because I know people came back. Is this motherfucker telling the truth?
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Hey, gee, your boy
Dude,
was out.
even
Like,
Fuzz and I would be on the man. You see the Mrs. post. People
Breaking
would hit me
news.
up.
Breaking news.
Yeah, people would hit me up. Talk to me about synergy.
well, I mean, consistency and repetition breeds familiarity. Familiarity breeds a relationship. Relationship breeds teamwork, and that creates synergy.
Text me that.
I mean,
That's good.
hell yeah, and that's what I've lived my life on. Is whether it was that first day when I walked into Power 106 and saw Ice-T, and he taught me about working together and how hip hop was a collaborative effort. This whole thing, everything we're talking about, investing in
all
people,
collab.
it's all synergy.
Me and
everything we're doing right now is synergy.
Big Boy and I had the coldest 1-2 punch. Hey, Fuzz, you deal with the label and artist. I got a morning show. Let's make it work. That was the 1-2 punch. Oh, okay, cool. He never got in my way. I never got in his way. I just wanted to make
Hey,
Big look
Damizza, what do you
good.
think of Midnight Love?
What's your event that's coming up too?
That's real spit.
October 12th in Los Angeles, we have Harvey Mason, Ann Mincielli, who would, speaking of synergy, Ann Mincielli was the first female engineer that I worked with on I Still Believe back in the day. But now she's Alicia Keys' partner. And
Well,
she
big.
has studio and all of that. So she's coming. We got
Talking about Harvey
Big
Mason from the
Tank.
Grammys. Harvey Mason from the Grammys.
Yeah, Harvey Mason from the Grammys,
Big
Ann
Tank, who's the music
Mincielli, Big
supervisor?
Tank, biggest music supervisor in the
Yeah,
game.
that's a big deal.
Alex Aguilar, who just did the tax credits with Gavin Newsom to keep movies in Los Angeles, and Bobby D Presents. And every year we
Oh,
get together and
Bob.
we have a synergy marketing conference and a networking thing.
And
so
where's
October
this
12th.
at? October 12th.
A Create Music Group here in
And
Los
how do we
Angeles.
get in the room?
Damizza.com.
Demizza, cleverly hit
coming.
it.
And you were there last
two
year.
Z's.
Thank
I'm
you.
going to be there this year too. I think my calendar's there.
What?
I think my calendar's there,
Oh,
bro.
Yeah.
Breaking
What
news.
we doing with you? What we doing with you, Glasses?
October 14th, I'm dropping one of the most important records of my career. It caters to the whole idea of the Digi Maxi single. It's gonna be really special. It's really gonna be special.
Brother Fuzz.
Oh man, this Snoop got me working on Death Row. I tell everybody this.
Snoop got
I
me
said,
working at
listen,
Death Row sound
it's
crazy.
safe to work at Death Row now, so I'm happy. to be
Right.
here. So yeah, I'm proud to work with Snoop and Death Row team. So
Yeah, man.
we're pushing.
Hey,
And
man,
no
just-
better ears on the planet than this
And real
guy.
quick, man, live shows. Is there a death to live shows now? Or
Nah, I think it's been I just
I
went to
just
that
saw
Breezy
Ice Cube
Bowl.
at Crypto.com. You just saw Breezy
I just saw
Bowl
Chris Brown.
at
I'm like-
SoFi. I saw him at Elysian as well.
Yeah, like come on, man.
What about
like,
these fucking prices people trying to beat you over the head with?
Man.
that part. They gonna
Yeah.
get it. But shout out to Chris Brown. He
Hell
him.
yeah.
Yeah, you the one.
Chris Brown's a beast.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Flying around it.
Well, I mean, I mean, he all right with dancing. Ask him where he got his move from. If he don't point back at me, he's bullshitting. He's bullshitting. But no, I just want to hang out with you guys, man.
Man, this is a great.
we
hangout.
got to do it again.
Yeah,
circle
yeah,
moment.
good time.
Yeah, ain't it,
Definitely
man?
a full circle
Look at
moment.
God.
Yeah.
Man, now this is beautiful. Glasses, thank you, brother,
Thank
for
y'all
making
for
yourself
having me.
available, man. Believe that. And Glasses had to pretty much drive from Czechoslovakia.
Man, listen, it
You
was
know?
worth it. When I saw everybody walking, I was like, oh yeah, this is for sure.
Yeah, man. And Fuzz, always a pleasure,
Always,
bro.
man.
Believe that,
Yes, sir.
Damizza. Thank you, man. And thank you for coming back and being a voice for us. Believe that, man. Thank you guys for having me.